Hey guys, West End Wonder here, and today I thought I'd film a video talking about my unpopular Starkid opinions. Now, if you don't know who Starkid, I can't pronounce things. They're a theatre company that produce their own musicals. Technically their latest musical was The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, but their newest one that kind of has and hasn't come out yet is Black Friday. So yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into this. Now, keep in mind, I haven't seen every Starkid show because I'm still fairly new to the fandom. But I have seen a few of them, so we're gonna talk about them. Oh, and if these aren't unpopular, then I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. So the first three are gonna be about Twisted, which is a great musical. Okay, so I've got some notes here. The first unpopular opinion is that Jafar is one of the kindest Starkid characters ever. He is so sweet and he's so overlooked because when people think of like Twisted, they think of, I don't know, Ahmed, and well, no one remembers Ahmed, but they just think about other characters, and the only thing they really remember about Jafar is "This is all your fault, Jafar," which is funny, but I don't know, he's just really sweet, and it gets overlooked massively just because of the "This is all your fault, Jafar" joke. Okay, here's another one that people are probably going to disagree with me about. It's still to do with Twisted. It's the Sherazad. I know it's from Tales of the Arabian Nights, but I don't know how to pronounce it. And Jafar are like they're the most underrated couple in Starkid history. Okay, I have seen not one video on YouTube about them, like at all. Maybe it's because they don't have enough screen time, but people still love other couples that don't get as much screen time, and they make a bunch of tribute videos to them, but they make none about Sherazad and Jafar, and that's really sad because they're an adorable couple. It's really sweet how they met, okay? I'm such a loser. Like, there are so many on Zazalil, and Jamila, and yet there's none on Sherazad, I know I'm butchering it, and Jafar, and that's sad to me. And my final opinion is, I know it's a musical, so it's gonna have like a load of songs, but I think that Twisted has too many songs, and that's why some of them aren't that memorable to me. But it's still an incredible, incredible show, and I can understand why it's some people's most favorite show that Starkid have ever produced. So my next one is gonna be about Firebringer. I kind of have a mixed relationship with Firebringer. Some things are hilarious, and some of the songs are absolute like classics. But at the same time, yeah, it's not that funny, but that's not an opinion. Well, it is, but it isn't. Anyway. Okay, so the first one, people are gonna hate me, but Zazalil and Jamila are an awful couple. I'm sorry, there, I said it. But it doesn't make any sense. There's no really backbone to them. They don't really have a reason to be together. Like, it just felt kind of forced. If you're gonna do LGBTQ plus relationships, then please do them right. Okay, so my second opinion about I have a notification about Firebringer is that Kiri and Zazalil should have been the couple instead of Zazalil and Jamila. Okay, like I'm sorry, but they should have been. They were just such good friends, and it annoys me how all the writers were like, okay, let's put Jamila and Zazalil together because that makes perfect sense, even though they spent a lot of the musical being like enemies. So don't get me wrong, I love the enemies to lovers trope, but not in the case of Zazalil and Jamila. It just doesn't sit right with me. And the last one is, I don't know, maybe some people agree with me about this, but the alien plotline towards the end was really confusing. I was like, doesn't make much sense, but okay, boomer. I'm just not going to talk much about this one because it's kind of weird, and I don't think many people enjoyed it that much. Some people did. I can understand why. It was pretty funny, but it just didn't make much sense to me. Okay, so what was I going to talk about? That's right, the guy who didn't like musicals, aka my first Starkid show. Please don't call me a fake fan, I'm sorry. But, you know, yeah, let's get on to the guy who didn't like musicals. I'm also going to add in some more random facts about other random shows. Opinions about random shows afterwards. Okay, so my first opinion is that Jeff Blim's solos, they're a no-no for me. Like, You Tied Up My Heart and oh god, it's gone out of my head. You Tied Up My Heart and What Do You Want, Paul? They're just, I always skip them. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to the full soundtrack today. I get through the guy who didn't like musicals and la di da da day, and then I'm just like, I don't really want to listen to Jeff Blim right now. Maybe I'll listen to like the song another time, but I never get around to it, and I just don't listen to either songs. I like him when he's in a group song, like I don't know, Show Me Your Hands or Join Us and Die, but I don't like his like vibe, his falsetto. It's very annoying, but he's still a great singer when he uses his natural range. Okay, this is a pretty unpopular one, but I prefer the studio recordings of most songs over the live recordings, especially when it comes to my current favorite song in the musical, which is Join Us and Die. I prefer the riff in the studio recording. Jamie's riff in the beginning, I prefer, like I said, in the studio recording, because you could just hear her so much more clearly, and you don't have the audience screaming in the background, though she deserves all the applause because she's such a good singer. Also, random little feeling I have, Join Us and Die has the same energy as Kick It Up a Notch from Starship. Yeah. What was the other one? Okay, the last one is I was glad that there was no kiss between Paul and Emma. Listen, okay, hear me out. The first thing I want to say is I love Paul and Emma. They are probably my favorite Starkid couple. I think so, apart from Sherazad and what's his face, Jafar. No one remembers Jafar, am I right? Okay, that's the wrong character. But anyway, I was glad there was no kiss because then it would have felt like a trope. And I mentioned this to my dad when we watched it together. I didn't want there to be like oh, he's about to go and he may die. There's like a 95% chance he's going to die when he's doing this. So make them kiss. I kid you not, when Lauren spit up the blood on John's face, for the first time I saw that, I laughed so hard I started crying because the look of it wouldn't have been so funny unless I saw the look of sheer disgust on John's face. It was absolutely priceless. So like I said, I was glad that there was no kiss because it would have felt like a cliche and a trope, and I just wouldn't be into that. But at the same time, I want them to kiss because they're an adorable couple and I love them, okay? I've read a lot of fan fictions. Okay. Here are some random opinions I have about like other shows. Me and My Dick is probably the most underrated Starkid show. Yeah, I said it. Love Me and My Dick. Some of the songs are just so funny. And AJ Holmes, is that his name? He needs to return to Starkid. He was so funny. Another opinion I have is I don't think a Harry Potter senior year is as bad as people say it is. They say, oh, they hadn't rehearsed and there was this and that didn't make sense and it was so under-rehearsed and it would have been so much better if they'd had more time. I don't know. And also a lot of people criticize the flying diary joke, but I think that made it even funnier if it was. It would have made it even funnier if it hadn't flown properly, which it didn't. And here's another thing. They said a lot of people say that most of the actors weren't top notch, but I think with the exception of Darren Criss, who just kept laughing all the time, it was a good production. I don't think it was as good as the original A Harry Potter musical or A Harry Potter sequel, but it was not as bad as people say it was. Okay? Another thing is, I'm kind of scared for Black Friday, the musical, when it comes out on YouTube. My throat just did a funny burp. But I don't know who's gonna. I think it's probably been confirmed on some form of social media, but I don't know who's gonna play the main character because Mariah's not going to be in it. She's Regina George on the US tour of Mean Girls. And I'm like panicking because if they've rewritten the show, so she's not in it, I'm gonna have a panic attack. And also, if they write someone else in as the character, I don't think they're gonna be as good as Mariah. I'm sorry, but they're not. Mariah Rose Faith is arguably one of the best female singers in Starkid. And that's a fact. That's a straight fact. Oh, I was gonna mention another one. I can't remember what I was going to mention. But, oh, yes, there's one more fact. I can probably put this over here now. I think that Lauren and Joey, or Rich Pairs, or whatever you know them as, I think they might be an actual couple. I'm just saying, from what I've seen, the evidence. I think they might be an actual couple because I've seen a lot of videos where they're just like kind of cuddling each other and kissing each other on the forehead. And they could just be like really close friends. I accept that. But at the same time, it's like a Jim and Pam situation. Will they, won't they, but with real people. It's great. Okay, so please don't flame me down in the comments. I'm sorry if you disagree or if you don't think these are unpopular. But I guess that's it for now. I don't really have anything else to say. So thanks for watching. Please don't kill me down in the comments, but you can disagree with me in a friendly manner. And feel free to post your own unpopular Starkid opinions that maybe other people don't agree with. And I guess that's it for now. So goodbye.